incredible women she is. आज हमारे साथ है मिस समीना अहमद, शी इज डायरेक्टर ऑफ होप अपलिफ्ट फाउंडेशन. वेलकम समीना.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a great pleasure to have you with
Yeah,
us today.
yeah.
So Shamina, we would like to start today's conversation with your life journey, with your achievements as a social activist.
Okay. Well, I've always been a diverse sort of person in my interests. So I paint, and I was when I was living in Islamabad, I was there. There's an Asian study group, and I was the head of the comparative religions group there. And I used to have these meetings at my house. So I was always a very busy person. Then I used to do yoga daily, and exercise, various other interests. I was very fond of flower arrangement, so I did a lot of flower arrangement. I'm a member of the Floral Art Society of Pakistan, and in fact in 2011 I got the first prize at the World Flower Show in Boston. So, what changed my life as such was when in 1995, I tragically in an accident, my two children and my brother died. And after that, I decided that I was going to devote, not consciously, but, I wanted to devote my life to helping other people. And that's what I've done since. So it's 25 years this last November. And I have worked with various organizations, and just tried mostly a lot for education actually of children, but otherwise also, and I lived in Manila for 12 years, so I worked for the Muslim community over there, and made a new school for them, and sorted out the school which was a mess over there, and opened up a typing school for the children who graduated from the school so that they could have jobs and a good livelihood. So I've been doing all sorts of diverse things. Yeah.
Samina, I'm quite glad to have a person who is having a number of projects on her plate.
Yeah.
Especially, I have seen that during your conversation, what I have observed that you change your colors. You travel to different parts of the world. You're a social activist. Which work of yours that you feel you're most proud of?
Well, I think I would say two things. 25 years ago, I started working with the Pehli Kiran schools in Islamabad, which are 10 schools in the slum areas of Islamabad, in the Jhuggies basically. And a friend of mine it's an interesting story, I don't know how much time we have, but yes. So she was building a house in F11, and I'm a great gardener. So she wanted to help her landscape her garden. So I used to go to F11, I lived in F71, and on the way, at the traffic light, you had these cute 4 or 5-year-old Afghani children, beautiful, children begging on the street at the traffic lights. So my friend, just stopped a car one day and got 3 or 4 of the children together and said, "Hey, मैं आपको पढ़ाऊंगी. Would you like to study?" So the children were totally taken aback. They said, they didn't know what to say. So she said, "If you're interested, please bring your parents tomorrow to this traffic light at this time, and I'd like to meet them." So 2 or 3 fathers turned up at the traffic light, and she spoke to them and said that, "I want to educate your children. I want to give them a better life." And they said, "No, my child earns 200 rupees in the day. What's going to happen to our income, So she explained to them that when the child was able to read and write and get a job, he would support the whole family, So it was something so that's how those schools started, in the F9 park opposite, on the F9 park in the hills we had the 8 children come for the first day, and we employed a couple of teachers. And a few days later, 3 or 4 fathers turned up and said, we want to be educated also. So we said, no, sorry, this is only for children. And only boys came to start with. Then the girls started coming. So like that, what we did was we set up some mats on the floor and 4 poles on which we had a tarpaulin. And we put it right where the jhuggies were, so that they would not have the excuse of not sending their children, because we were at their doorstep. So those, from 8 children it grew to 1,200 children, and mashallah, those schools 25 years later are still running and doing extremely well.
So, well, Sameena, the journey that you have started with those 4 children, grandchildren, I would say, and now it is ended up to Hope Foundation.
Yes.
So, would you please explain and share with us how does Hope Foundation?
Yes. Okay. So I was after my accident, my husband and I moved to Manila. He was working with the Asian Development Bank, and there I found that the Muslim community was in a really bad way. So I started to sort out their school, one existing school, and built a new school for them. So that that was a very interesting part of my journey. I can tell you later if you like. But you were asking about Hope Uplift. So when we finally moved back to Pakistan in 2008, I said I need to do something, with my life. And there's so many people in Pakistan who are doing a lot of good work, helping, So a friend of mine knew the founder of Hope Foundation. Her name is Lubna Shiko, and she is an amazing woman. So she introduced me to her, and I said, look, I want to help. I want to, do something for you. So then she recruited me in various projects that they were doing. And so mashallah, it's been 12 years now that I've been working with the Hope Foundation, and I'm a director on many of their programs. And it's a very diverse organization. It is, in fact, at this point in time, the largest NGO in Pakistan. It has grown. Lubna started with getting a few neighborhood ladies together, and they collected 300 rupees and started helping other people. And mashallah, now it's the largest NGO in Pakistan. So bigger than AB, bigger than all the big names that you can name, because we run our programs on zakat. So people give their zakat out of their zakat so it's called we have daily cases. It's called Reach to Allah cases. So every day we have a WhatsApp group, and we put for example, today I put that this man needs a roof. His roof is broken, and when it rains, his family gets wet. So we need to make a roof over his head. And in 2 or 3 hours, mashallah, our members have contributed 8 lakh, 1.5 lakh, whatever the amount is required to build that roof, and we've done it. So it's an amazing turnover, because as you might know, Pakistanis are one of the biggest givers of charity in the world. And mashallah, Hope Uplift Foundation proves that by being the largest NGO which runs on zakat.
Okay, beautiful. You're very right that Pakistanis are the people who are giving the most money for the charity. While having conversation with you, Sameena, what is happening to me, I cannot take my eyes off from your jewelry. And it's also a very important part of your personality, that from floral arrangements to the charity, and then to designing the jewelry.
Yeah.
So would you like to elaborate that how did you come up with this jewelry?
Yeah. So you see, I mentioned that we were living in Manila for many years, and over there it's the trade of the selling of pearls. which Manila is famous for, which the Philippines are famous for, is done by all the Muslims. So there's a whole big market there of Muslim women in these little stalls running, selling jewelry. So I started with wanting to help those women, make a better living and just support them. So when I used to come to Pakistan nearly every 2 months from Manila, and so many friends, relatives always asked me for jewelry. So then I would sit with those Muslim women and design it and then bring it for them. So my Khala came to visit once in Manila and she said to me, Bete, I didn't know that it was such a difficult job that you do. हम तो कह देते हैं कि हमारे लिए ये ले आओ, वो ले आओ, but it's not easy. It's I've seen how much you work at it. So why don't you start a business? So I said, Khala, I've never done a business in my life. I don't think I can do it. So my Khala was very enterprising. She bought a lot of pearl jewelry and she brought it to Pakistan and sold it and had a very successful exhibition. So then I thought to myself, I do all this charity work and I always need money. So why can't I take some jewelry across and sell it and use the money for charity? So that's how I started. And it's been 12 years since I left Manila, and before that, the many years that I stayed there, 12 years, so 24 years or so now that I've been doing this. It's Corona at this point in time has put a stop to any exhibitions, but that's how it used to keep me happy because I love jewelry. So how much can you buy for yourself and use? So I thought, let me sell this jewelry and make money for my charities.
So it's a beautiful idea that
Yeah.
you are making money from your jewelry selling and
Yes.
then you're putting that money to the charity.
Yes.
So it's a wonderful idea.
Yeah.
At the end, would you like to give any message to the women of Pakistan?
Yeah, well, I would like to say that women in Pakistan should not underestimate themselves. We are a powerful force, as God created women much stronger than men, emotionally, physically, I think. And we should utilize our God-given, abilities and have confidence to do what we want in life, and not be cowed down by circumstances or society and what they think, but just go ahead and do what our heart tells us to do and what makes us happy. I think that's extremely important, and that helps in a happy family as a result also.
Oh, all right, at the end I would like to ask, since you have taken social work as an obligation, so do you feel yourself very contented now and still you feel that yes, there is something that I have to achieve yet?
Yes, doing social work is the one thing in the world which gives you the most satisfaction, because nothing else can give you peace of mind, and the satisfaction of having helped somebody is the biggest gift that you can possibly have, So I would like to continue for the rest of my life to do that and to inspire other people by telling them my story, because I feel that when I am gathering funds for, I'm just gathering funds today for a cochlear implant for a child who's deaf and dumb, and I have to reach out to people by telling them that, look, I do this and this is how it's helped this child. Would you like to help the child? So, if you give an example, people then feel the confidence to pitch in also. Yeah.
Actually, it's such a beautiful conversation that I said twice that at the end of this conversation I would like to ask this, but still I want to ask a few questions which
Yes.
might be out of the box for you. What is happiness for Sameena?
Happiness is being able to do what I enjoy most, which really is floral arrangement is one of my passions. gardening is another one of my passions. So, and then the helping other people, and especially children. I have a soft spot. I want to educate this nation really, because I feel that education is what makes your life.
Sameena, now you are a role model for a number of women across Pakistan. There must be some role model or source of inspiration for you in your life.
Yes, actually, it was my mother. She spent all her life working and doing the same stuff that I'm doing. There's a family welfare organization in Lahore. She was one of the founder members, and she used to go like a working woman at 9 o'clock in the morning to this Krishan Nagar, where this still exists, the family welfare offices, and come back at 2:30 in the afternoon, spend totally. She didn't earn a penny doing this, but she just loved to help people. And she opened a working women's hostel there, and she would come home and there would be a wife, the warden would call and say, "Madam, wo ladki bhag gayi hai, police wale aaye hue hain." So, you know, my poor mother, it wasn't just 9 to 2, or she was just working around the clock. And I think subconsciously, you know, it made me, yes, yeah, it made me do the same thing.
Sameena, it was a great conversation, and we are really honored to have you.
Thank you so much. This same here. Yes.